your own home in Italy by the sea. For some, it's a dream from a movie, but for us, it's a real task that we recently solved for my husband's mom. Today, I'll show you everything, from the garden with lemons and tangerines to the actual purchase cost, taxes, and all the hidden expenses.
Hi everyone, I'm Lina and I welcome you to my channel. Today, we're switching from travel to a more down-to-earth but very hot topic: life and real estate in Italy. Those who aren't watching me for the first time already know that my husband and I have lived in Italy for over 16 years, and probably the most frequently asked question is about buying real estate. So today, I invite you to our new family project. We bought a villetta for my husband's mom, and I'm ready to show it to you today. We'll break down how much a house like this costs, what a gated consortium is, and what hidden expenses you need to prepare for if you decide to buy property here. I'll say right away, I won't be showing our own house today. We bought it a long time ago, and that's a completely different story. But if you're interested in taking a look inside our place, write in the comments. If there are a lot of requests, I'll film a separate big room tour. And before we go to see my mother-in-law's house, let me briefly explain. Our main goal when searching was proximity to us, so we could walk there in literally 5 minutes. And we got lucky. This house is located exactly within such walking distance. We are in the town of Ardea. This is just under 30 kilometers south of Rome. The house itself is 1.5 kilometers from the sea. It has everything you need: schools, kindergartens, supermarkets, and cafes. In summer, the coast fills up with tourists, mostly Italians themselves. And there are beaches for every taste, both paid and free. By the way, just a few minutes drive away is a train station, from where you can get to the center of Rome in just 40 minutes. Well, now let's go see the house, and right after, I'll break down the cost, taxes, and all the expenses.
Let's first walk through the consortium itself. Closer to my mother-in-law's house, there's another gate, but we'll go in through the main one. Here's what it looks like. We go in, and this beautiful green alley opens up in front of us. There are quite a few houses here. Mostly, these are so-called villette a schiera, or townhouses. Most of the neighbors live here year-round, but there are also those who use the property as a summer house and only come for the summer. The main plus is the gated, secured territory. The greenery is constantly cared for here. Trees are trimmed and order is maintained. Naturally, a fee is paid for such service. Here it's called a condominium. In this house, the monthly payment is about 60 euros. For comparison, our own house is not in a gated area, so we don't have such mandatory payments. Here we are. Let's go in. In front of the house is a small patio, and on the right, the garden itself begins. This is a corner townhouse, so compared to the neighbors, the plot is much larger. And here is the owner. My mother-in-law is just watering the flower beds. You know, everything in her garden is always perfectly manicured and trimmed, which I honestly admit can't be said about our own garden. Look at this huge palm tree. I absolutely love it. And next is the best part: tangerine and lemon trees. There are almost no tangerines left now, it's out of season. But lemons in Italy are available practically year-round. And in summer, my mother-in-law grows her own vegetables. Her tomatoes are especially good. We eat them all summer. In front of the house is a large veranda. In the Italian climate, this is a real lifesaver in the summer heat. It always stays pleasantly shady and cool here. But if there gets to be too much sun, There's this retractable awning here. It can be opened for full shade or rolled up as desired if you want to let in more light. All the windows and doors by the way in this house are also glass. They call them porta finestra in Italy. We completely replaced. This was probably the biggest expense after the purchase. But it was necessary not so much for aesthetics as for thermal insulation so that the house is warm in winter and cool in summer. Well, now let's finally go inside. Upon entering, we find ourselves in the living room. We changed practically nothing here, just refreshed the walls and replaced the outlets. Actually, there is a fireplace here, but honestly, we've never lit it, and my mother-in-law eventually decided to close it up. To the left of the entrance is a small room. Here too, instead of a regular window, a glass door is installed, through which you can go straight out to the veranda. Now, some of our kids' toys have migrated here as they always visit their grandmother on weekends. Let's move on. Here is the kitchen. Now this we remodeled completely. The previous one was in very bad shape, so we updated everything, leaving only the floor tiles. From here, there is also an exit to the garden, and you probably noticed grates on all the windows and doors. In Italy, especially in the private sector by the sea, this is absolutely normal and a safety standard. You get used to it quickly. On the other side of the living room, a small hallway leads to the bathroom and another bedroom. We also completely renovated the bathroom, replaced all the tiles and plumbing. In most Italian homes, you'll find shower cabins. Full bathtubs are very rare here, but as a rule, there is always a window. And of course, a mandatory item is the bidet. Italians simply can't imagine their lives without it. It's a basic in any bathroom. And this is the second room. It's larger than the first. We also changed practically nothing here. And again, a glass door with access straight to the garden. The total area of the house is about 80 square meters plus a large veranda. For 1 or 2 people to live in, this is more than enough. Well, I've shown you the house, and now we move on to the most interesting part. How much did all this cost? What taxes did we pay? And what expenses do you need to prepare for when buying real estate in Italy?
And now for the most interesting part. Let's break down the budget of this purchase. The cost of the house itself was 90,000 euros. But buying real estate in Italy always involves additional expenses that you need to be prepared for in advance. First, taxes. They cost us 3,500 euros. And here it's important to understand whether you are buying the house as a prima casa, that is a primary residence, or as a seconda casa, a second home. The difference is huge. The tax on a primary residence is significantly lower. And what's most pleasant, in the future you won't have to pay the annual property tax, IMU. We registered this house as a primary one, so we saved money. Second, the agency. We paid a flat fee of 5,000 euros. As a rule, if the property value is up to 200,000 euros, agencies charge a flat fee. If it's more than 200, then it's usually a percentage of the transaction. Third, the notary. We paid 1,500 euros for the deed of sale. In total, additional expenses amounted to 10,000 euros. That is, the turnkey cost of the house with all documents was 100,000 euros. Keep in mind that when buying budget real estate up to about 200,000 euros in Italy, you always need to have 10 to 12,000 euros in reserve for registration. As for the renovation, we focused on the essentials. Replacing all windows and doors was about 5,000 euros. Kitchen renovation with furniture and appliances was about 4,000 euros. Bathroom renovation with tile and plumbing replacement was another 5,000 euros. Plus cosmetic repairs, which we find hard to even calculate because it was all done gradually and we are still continuing to do things. Of course, there are still many plans, but mom already has the basics for a comfortable life. Is it worth it? In my opinion, absolutely. For 100,000 euros, we got a corner townhouse within walking distance of us and near the sea. In Italy, real estate is not just square meters, it's a lifestyle, peace, and your own lemons in the garden. I hope this review was useful to you. If you still have questions about taxes or life in our region, write in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see a room tour of our own house. Thanks for watching to the end. Bye-bye.